Okay, so today I'm going to be closing this pool for the winter. You want to make sure your water is pretty clean when you start. This isn't as clean as I'd like it to be. It's still a bit murky. You can't see right down to the bottom. I got leaves already coming in. But this is what it is. It's cleaner than last weekend I was going to do it, but it was worse than this. We had some rain come through and it just got pretty murky. But this will be good enough. I'll shock it once I'm done and maybe they'll clear it up a bit more too. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a backwash. There's the pump here. And I just want to do a backwash to clean the sand out. It's been running for a week, so you all probably know how to do that. I'm just going to put it on backwash on the top here and let it run until the glass clears up a bit. And then I'll set up my pump. I have a sump pump that I use to drain the pool. I find it a lot easier than putting this thing on waste. I'll run this thing on waste probably until it starts to dip down a bit, because we've got a fair amount of water in here. So I'll run it on waste, and then once it gets down below the skimmer level and it starts sucking air, I turn it off and let the sump pump do the rest. It's a bit longer, but you're not losing prime all the time with it sucking air. So I'll start that, and when I get the sump pump up and running, I'll show you that. Okay, so our water's cleared up a bit in the glass there. It's still a little bit cloudy, but it's clear enough. I'm going to stop the pump again, and then I'm going to put this on drain, and the water will still run through there because it's backwash just drains to the ditch, and so does draining, of course. The pool is going to start to lower in level as it drains out instead of circulating back after filtering. So that's going to start, and I'm going to put the pump in place, and we'll let that run for a while until the water level gets below the jets. Okay, so I have my pump in place. That's just a normal sump pump, and the round ball thing that has the contacts in it has been taken off and just shorted across so the pump runs all the time. So it's supported on a 2x4. I don't like it touching the bottom on the vibrating away on the vinyl there while as it's pumping, so I just suspend it up off the bottom of the pool, and it's going to just run out into the ditch on the other side of the fence. So this will be a couple hours at least, if not 3, but I'll time it and I'll put it on the video how long it takes to come down, and we'll go from there. Okay, so it's been 46 minutes and the pool is down below the skimmer, as you can see, and there's still enough water height in the skimmer that it's not losing prime to the creepy. But if you didn't have the creepy in there, it'd probably lose prime. So I mean, as soon as it drops below the level where the water is flowing in, if you haven't got a creepy in there, you probably want to stop it because it'll be losing prime. When we come in here to the shed, I already stopped it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from drain and just move the, mine's got a winterize spot on it. It just basically leaves that up out of the position. And the next thing you're going to want to do is take all these parts off. Take that off, and this, just so they don't freeze in the winter. I usually have a basket I throw them all in. This is the basket from the skimmer. You can see the mice have been in here chewing at something. So that's going to go in that basket. This here has to come off. It should only be hand tight. And that's going to drain the rest of the water out of the filter. You can take it off as far as you want. I take mine all the way off, and you can see the remaining water is coming out of there, and it'll keep draining. Next you'll come over to your pump. Take that off. And empty all the crap out of this basket here. Mine's full of leaves. But what you want to do is take the plugs out. So I got a plug here. Now drain the rest of the water out of there. And there's also a plug right here in the front, as you can probably see. I'm going to take that one out too and let the water all drain out. And after that, I'm not going to start it right now, but next you'll have to take this pump union off somewhere along, either at the head, you know, where it comes up into the head. This is the return. Goes through my pool sanitizer. I have chlorine pucks in this. And this is the return to the pool, so I'll show that when we get to that stage, but that's going to have to get taken apart too. Let me just lift this rug up that I'm on, because the water is going to run out here. So, for now, that's where I'm going to stop until my pool. I have to wait for the pool to get down below the return jets before I can do anything else. So that's where we're at now. So I'll keep timing it and see how long the sump pump takes to bring it down to that level. Okay, it's been about 4 hours. The pool is now down below the jets. You can see where that jet is over there. The water is just below them, about an inch. So now I'm in here in my pool shed again, and I've taken apart that joint that I showed you, and now I have my shop vac, and I'm using the blow side. You need a shop vac that does has both vacuum and blow. So this has got a blower on it. If you don't have this, I mean, you could try like a leaf blower or something, but you need some sort of tube, and then you're going to push it onto the ABS pipe. It comes back your return. Let's see, can I see where I am here with this camera? There. So that's on there like that. Now I'm going to turn this on and lift it off. Blowing out there. I'm just going to move this around though so the hose doesn't keep blowing off here. Okay, so that's blowing. And normally what I'll do is I'll put my hand over this one. Let's see, will I be able to show the other one? Okay, so you see how that blew a little more out of the end when I covered this one side here. This allows more air to get down through the pipe. And you'll see down here how that is pretty much dry. But we got to blow out the one line that goes over to the pump that's going to the filter. So I'm going to stop the vacuum and we'll blow that out next. Okay, so next I'm going to blow out from here. And what I got is this little piece here. I don't know if it came with a creepy crawler or what, but it just allows me to put a bit of an angle on that so I can blow into there with the hose. I don't get a super tight fit, but that's what I'm going to do here, and just sort of hold it with my hand onto there as best I can. So Sorry, the camera's gonna go all wild here for a second. Then I'll show you where it comes off here. It's going to come out at that end. So I'm going to turn it on, it's going to get noisy again, but you're going to see it coming out where the skimmer is. Okay, so the water's out of those pipes. Next I have to find the plugs that go in the hole. So once I find those, I'll get back on here and we'll show you what I'm doing there. So I have my two plugs. These are for the return jets into the pool. Not too bad condition yet. And basically that's just going to go in the hole, and I'm going to tighten that down, and that pulls that in and expands that a bit into the hole. You want to be snug. Don't over tighten them though. You don't want to crack the plastic return flange. So just tight enough that water is not going to leak out, because you are going to put antifreeze in that line in a minute. The stock doesn't want to come out. Okay, so that's the return line again that we blew out and put the caps on in the pool. And now we are going to fill that up full of windshield washer fluid. See that? It's this is what I use. I know the pool store wants to sell you plumbing antifreeze. I'm not drinking this water. And by the time spring rolls around, it's not going to be any glycol in it anyways. There won't be anything left in it to kill you. And usually when you open up the return jets in the spring, yeah, you'll get a bit of soap and stuff, and it eventually dissipates anyway, so it's not a big deal. I don't know if the camper antifreeze that you put in would do the same thing, probably, but anyways, this is what I've always used. That's one down. I don't see it leaking out. Which is a good sign. This usually takes about 2 of them, maybe a bit more. Okay, so that was 1 liter, or 4 liters, and maybe 5 liters total. So next we're going to go and do the skimmer. It has to be done too. You don't have to do anything here. I think this is pretty much done now. So we'll just go over to the skimmer and I'll show you how I pour it into there. So here's our dirty skimmer. You
You can clean it out if you want. You'll see one of them still has water in it. This is pool level. That's the line that goes to your drain in the bottom of the pool. So let's get some of this stuff out of the way here. This one is threaded, and the pool store will sell you one of these. This came with my pool. It's about, well, 30 plus years old probably. It leaks. It's got a crack in it. But it's basically just to stop if the water builds up in there and crack. You don't want it to crack this plastic. This one, I guess, is a softer plastic or something to push on. Anyways, you just screw that one in. And the other side, we're going to take one of my creepy hose, put that in there, and now I've got a little spigot here, or what do I call it, a spigot funnel, that I can pour the fluid into. This side's not going to take as much. It looks like it is full. It's still taking a bit, so. It's going to balance between here and the pump, so it'll overflow once it gets to that spot. Probably got enough in it anyways. Let's see. Get the other one, we'll continue to fill it. So we'll pour a little more in. Usually what happens when this has had enough is it overflows. Yeah, that's good enough. So it's just to the top there. And I've got a number 9 plug to put in here. And again, I'll just tighten that down. Doesn't need to be really, really tight. There won't be a whole lot of water getting into this anyways. I have a lid that goes right there to keep the snow and stuff out. So that's done. So the next step will be just to start filling the pool again. And you want to put enough water in that you're below the skimmer. You don't want to fill it up over top again. Come up over the jets. I think you leave about 6 inches below the skimmer. But once we get there, I'll start the video up again and show you. So the pool has finished filling up. Well, you'll be able to see. There's the plug. It's just underwater a bit. And I don't know, there's probably 10 inches there, maybe a bit more. You could always fill it up a bit more, but if we get a lot of rain here in the end of the season, you don't have to pump it out that way. So if you overfill it, then you have to get the sump pump back out and bring the level back down, because you don't want the water coming back over into the skimmer again. Anyways, that's it, and at the end of this I'm just going to basically start just a brief description on how to open the pool. Okay, so spring is here, and what you're going to do to open this pool is take that plug out and the other one in the deep end out. You're going to come to your skimmer and you're going to take the plug out of there that you put in, plus the green the green one, whatever you want to call that, is called a gizmo. And then you're going to go to your pool shed and basically do the reverse of what you just did to close the pool. So you're going to want to put the plug back on the bottom of that. Put the pressure gauge back in there and the glass piece back in there. And then you can switch that around to circulate or filter, depending on what you want to do. You might want to just hit circulate to get it going first. I think that's one it might be called rinse something. You have to watch and see, because one of them actually, maybe it's Whirlpool, but one of them actually spits it out without backwashing. At least I think. Anyway, I'm not sure, but just put it on. Just put it on filter. Put your plugs back in here. There's the two plugs. They have to go back in. Put your hose back together and put the filter screen back in the pump. And if you want to make it easier to prime, sometimes I pour a bucket of water in there. Get some water into the hose. And put the lid on, screw it down tight, and start her up, get her going. Make sure you get some prime going. It should start sucking some water out of the pool and start filtering. You'll see a lot of blue stuff come out into the pool, or green, or whatever color antifreeze you used. It will come out and might get a bit of soap residue. But just get it starting to circulate and take your water sample down to the pool store and see what you have to put in it. Be careful running it with just the pucks, because you can get stabilizer lock and then your chlorine is doing nothing, and you wind up emptying a lot of the pools. Well, I found out this year I had that problem, first time ever, but that's because I started using those pucks instead of liquid bleach or the powder. So I never had that problem before, but this year I did, and it's a pain in the neck when you have to empty the pool all the way down and fill it back up, especially with the amount of money you're paying for city water. Around here anyways, it's not cheap. So just a word to the wise, when you get the pool open in the spring, bring a sample in right away and see what you have to put in. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I also take the diving board off for the winter, so that's something you have to put back on. And of course you want to take your steps out and put them away for the year. Put them in the pool shed along with all the pool furniture, so in and out depending on what time of year it is. Other than that, good luck.